Live happy and healthy, my brother. Live happy and healthy, my sister.
Guard your time. Your time is your life. Prioritizing what is important to you is critical to your health and happiness. Not everything you do is important. The things that keep you busy may be urgent, but I can tell you from experience that not all those things are important. I warmly welcome you to this edition of Healthier, Older, and Happier. The Song of Solomon in chapter 1 and verse 6 says, "Do not look upon me because I am dark, because the sun has tanned me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard I have not kept." Here we see the lamentation of a young man who was busy working at the expense of what mattered to him. Sadly, many people go through life only to find out when they are too far gone that they could have made better choices in the way they chose to use their time. Dwight Eisenhower was the 34th president of the United States of America. At some point in his life, he had to find a way to prioritize what was important and to separate those from the things that were not so important. The concept that he developed was made popular by Stephen Covey, the author of the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, in a matrix that is now called the Eisenhower Matrix. In the last 13 to 14 weeks, we have discussed several practices geared towards promoting your health and happiness around 6 main themes: building and nurturing value-adding relationships, getting adequate sleep and rest, exercising regularly, drinking adequate amounts of clean water, avoiding excess sugar and salt, preventing hypertension, and controlling high blood pressure for those who are already hypertensive. These evidence-based practices for health and happiness are absolutely important for everyone. For some, they are actually both important and urgent. Important because making the changes that will promote your own health and well-being at any time in your life course will definitely count towards how happy you will be. Urgent because for some, if things don't change now or very soon, the consequences may be catastrophic. For all these, time is critical. Your health and happiness are important enough for you to want to prioritize the time that is required to change the status quo. And for those who already enjoy good health, to improve on the status quo. What then is time? This takes me back in memory to 2005 at the Galilee Institute for Management, Galilee International Management Institute in Israel, where for the first time that I can remember, I was challenged to define time. There were a lot of back and forths in the class that day. And the funny thing was that most of our definitions had time. The measured or measurable period during which you exist as a person is your time. Time does not slow down when you slow down. Time doesn't stop when or if you choose to stop. It's often said, don't waste time. But I have come to learn since listening to Abraham Dantas that you don't even have the capacity to waste time, because time is not subject to you, does not answer to you. Time just goes on and is answerable only to God. Time is actually your life. So if anything is being wasted in relation to time, unfortunately, it is life that is being wasted. Critical as time is, you and I have only limited time. It is in the face of this realization that we don't have all the time that the Eisenhower decision matrix has gained the popularity that it currently has. The matrix essentially enables us to categorize the things that keep us busy into 4 domains. The first domain includes those things that are important and at the same time urgent. The next domain are those things that are important but not urgent. And then the third domain are the things that are not important but urgent. And lastly, those things that are not important and not urgent. For the important and urgent things, these are the things that have deadlines and could get you into trouble, make you lose your sleep, increase your stress and blood pressure levels, or affect your health and happiness one way or the other if you don't get them done. So they must be done, and done now. For example, if that important position you have been seeking has a requirement that you upload your application latest by 11:59 p.m. tonight, that is a must do. It must be done. The important things that are not urgent can be scheduled to be done later. Exercising for at least 30 minutes daily for a minimum of 5 days a week is an example of such tasks. Or getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep regularly at night. Setting aside time to plan healthy meals so that you can eliminate excess sugar and salt from your diet are other examples. For those things that are not important but urgent, they should be delegated. These are things that must be done but don't require your presence or expertise. So someone else can actually take this off you. For example, it has taken me so much time preparing this podcast today because my daughter, who usually works with me on this, has traveled. However, when this is ready, I don't have to do the final editing and uploading. I can send it to her, and that's what I'm going to do wherever she is. And then she will complete the tasks and ensure that the podcast is uploaded. That way, I free myself up to do other things that no one else can do for me. The things that are not important and not urgent are the absolute no-nos. These are things that totally distract you from your goals. For example, idly playing with your phone, your computer, your tab, surfing the internet, seeking to be the first to know the latest gist, compulsively checking for notifications, messages that really do not affect your goals or your priorities. Repeating tasks that are already completed, e.g., rearranging and arranging your folders, your drawers, your wardrobe, lying down in bed, gazing at the ceiling, doing nothing, accompanying friends on outings that don't relate in any way to your personal goals. I'm sure you can add several things to this list. I would like you to stop at this point and ask yourself, are you on track? In this life journey, are you on track? There's research evidence that life satisfaction and happiness are directly related to personal goal achievement. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 and 2 say, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die." In between these two major milestones in life, birth and death, is a time that is variable for you and I. That time is supposed to be deployed for purpose fulfillment. Are you on track? At that training program in Israel in 2005, a lot changed about me and the way I approach life. I remember Abraham Dantus asking us to write down our personal goals, short term, medium and long term. It wasn't as easy as it sounded, because for me, I had to think and ensure that the goals were smart as we were taught that day. That is, that the goals I was putting to paper were specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. I still have that notebook. And it wasn't until 5 years after that training program that I opened that notebook, and I was amazed at what I found. Practically everything I had written to be achieved within that time frame had been achieved without my going back to look in that notebook. Because I believe that that singular act of documenting my goals set me up in my mind for goal achievement, alongside other things that I had to do in line with what I learned. One of the things Abraham Dantus said that day was that any goal that is not written is a wish, and because wishes are not horses, beggars will not ride. Your goals may be financial, academic, relational, spiritual, or goals in any other domain. Whatever they are, achieving them or failing to achieve them will count for your happiness and for your health and overall well-being. The matrix described by Eisenhower and Stephen Covey it's not complex. It's something you can actually do for yourself. You can actually right now or sometime else that is convenient for you, pen down your priority matrix. Create those 4 boxes for yourself and define for yourself the things that you need to do now, the things that you must do later, or delegate or totally eliminate from your life in order to achieve the goals that are important for your health and happiness. As we said in a previous episode, you will have to take personal responsibility for this, because you cannot delegate your own health and happiness project. According to Johann Wolfgang van Goethe, I hope I got that pronunciation right, knowing is not enough. We must apply what we know. Being willing is not enough. We must take steps further to do. My hope is that you have found this episode empowering. I'm hoping that you will not just move on to the next podcast, but that you will take time to sit back and reflect and take decisions about setting goals, setting priorities, so that you can achieve and have the satisfaction that enables you to be happy every single day going forward. If you have found this useful, please share with your friends and others in your network. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already done so. It's always a pleasure to read your comments and the other feedback that you send to me personally. So please, when you watch on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Amazon, or Apple Music, as much as possible, please leave a comment. You could also get more content when you visit my website at itoaje.com. It's always a pleasure to do this, and I look forward to connecting with you next week by the grace of God.
Live happy and healthy, my brother. Live happy and healthy, my sister.